Well, look, I mean, first of all, it's really easy to be a proponent of a great program. So I just start by saying that. And then, at least in terms of me personally, I started art about last January, so about a year and 3/4 now. And what it's really helped me do is kind of still my mind. And for a long time, I thought meditation was like trying to empty your mind. And I realized that meditation is really about filling your mind. So you fill it with something so that you don't have time to think about the things that are worrying you, and you gain some peace and you let your brain synapses fire. And I find that with drawing. And so when you're fully in it, you really don't have time to think about anything else. It's all you can think about. Your mind is filled, your hands are busy, and at the end of it, you get a product. But what's really good about that whole process, sometimes when you can just do one thing, focus on it, do it for 3 hours, and then you're refreshed.
Anik, how long have you been doing these classes?
Actually, it's more than a year already, a year and a half. So I started in April last year with figure drawing. But I never thought that I can do, honestly. And honestly, Julia made me draw people and taught me how to do that. And that was one of the biggest achievements of the last years for me.
Oh, it's just been a brilliant kind of way of de-stressing. I started in January when it was just horrible during the pandemic, and you couldn't go out, you couldn't do anything, and I thought this would just be a nice kind of diversion. I didn't have too many expectations really, just turned up with my pencil, but I've just absolutely loved every minute of it. I find it very relaxing. It's almost meditative for me.
Are you wearing the ring on your finger that measures your heart
rate? I am.
Show it.
Yeah. This is a I'm a bit of a tech geek actually, so I
love
things.
Hold it up. Let's see it.
Data. I don't know if you can see that. It's an aura ring, and it's a wearable kind of tech thing that actually tells you a little bit about your sleep and when I'm doing my art class afterwards, it thinks I'm in a kind of a rest state. It actually says you're resting, which I find really hilarious.
It's just amazing, and it's not only about to learn how to draw or how to paint, but it's also a great community and the best teacher in the world, and we are inspiring everyone to draw and to paint and to try new things. And I think that is the most amazing thing in the world, especially during the pandemic, where a lot of people sitting at home and feeling lonely. And during the art classes, you never feel lonely. You have people from all around the world joining and just drawing or painting together. So it's really amazing thing.
And there's two ways I think you can come to class. One is just sort of your sense of inner peace, your sense of flow, your sense of meditation and control. And I think that's really useful for anyone who's really busy at work and you just want some time away. Even if you just want some time away from the kids, you want some time away from chores, right? It doesn't have to be work, it just has to be, this moment of quiet for yourself.
And this is finally having a space for a proper hobby with a good teacher. And on top of that, being a mom of a 4-year-old, it's intense. So those are the holy 2 hours in a week when I have a peace and quiet. It's like getting into this zone when you just focus on one thing and you just wanna get this leg, this shape, exactly as it should be, and even forget about the time and space during this process. It's pure magic.
But at the same time, what the classes have done is really build a sense of community. And that's strange to have both things simultaneously, but you can have both things. You can work, and then you can feel attached to all these people around the world that you might never talk to, you might never see, but that you share something in common and you talk to them. And there have been friendships that have flowered out of this. There's certainly people that are, cross-continent, talking to each other.
I would say it's a great community, and everybody is at a different stage, and you're not going to get judged. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's about, I guess, exploring, the opportunities that art brings to you. No matter what you do, you're always going to learn something, and when you finish that art class, you will be much better than when you started it. There's always some learning to take out of everything.
I don't want to pick on the great work because I think that makes people feel like they have to turn out great work if they get in. But there's
Like
been
you.
but there's been really amazing work, and as you see, sort of the art, but I mean, from people who never drew before, never painted before, and you can see some fantastic work out of it, and you can see how, in some ways, whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, it's taken over their life. You've seen all of that, this sort of flowering of talent and nurturing of talent and community build. And then I think the one thing that I do think is unique to art, I mean, you could do a lot of other things. You could do yoga, you could do dance, you could do, cycling classes, whatever it is, right? But what art does, I think, is when you do it, and this is something I've learned about myself as well, is you learn to see better. And when you and now when I look around, I see things I didn't see before. I see colors I haven't seen before, even though, which is funny because I don't do color at all. But because I do portraits, I see faces and I see expressions and I see shapes much more than I used to. And is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I mean, I think it's a good thing, but I think whatever it is that you draw, whatever it is that you look at, I think you will look at things in a new light. And certainly if you're a journalist, there's nothing quite like improving your powers of perception and vision, and that helps you in your work as well.
You will see how you can create, so don't be afraid, just go to Leah classes and you will be happy, and don't worry that you think that there are a lot of professional painters or drawers. There are a lot of beginners who also, as you, learn a new technique, and the group is very inspirational and compassionate and inspire and support everyone. So just join the classes, and if you have any questions, just write to us and join the classes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.